Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! I have often been heard referring to myself as the greatest of all time, but you know something? Because of how much you guys love Descendants of Zombies and how you represent yourselves, you guys are the greatest of all time, because you made me into the person that I am today, along with how your favorite Descendants of Zombies characters and all the moments that define you as Descendants of Zombies fans have made me a better person. And I have each and every one of you to thank because of that. Because of you, more people have heard my voice, more people know who I am, and I think that's really cool, because it's an opportunity for me to share with you my stories and my opinions on Descendants of Zombies and how I feel about this show, because it's a showcase of immortality, because your favorite stars are undeniably on their way to achieving greatness. So because they are on their way to achieving greatness and receiving honors like a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and being honored at the D23 Expo like Miley Cyrus was just last year, I say this because if people like Miley Cyrus and Ashley Tisdale can forever be honored at the D23 Expo, so too can your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars. And I, for one, would love to see Kylie Cantrall receive her own Hollywood Walk of Star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, because she deserves it, for how much heart and dedication she's put behind everything that she's done and ever been a part of, especially when it comes to the character Red that she represented so phenomenally in Descendants. If there ever was someone who deserved their own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, it would be Kylie Cantrall. Because I've heard this girl's conversation about the President of the United States, Donald Trump, end up in conversations about politics far too often. I think that Kylie Cantrall deserves more of a chance to be taken on her than ever before. And if anything, it's inspired me to throw my name into the running for President of the United States in 2028, because I think Kylie Cantrall deserves a president that she can finally be proud of, that she can feel confident living through. And I think because Kylie Cantrall deserves more of a chance, I think her talents need to be showcased. So on the night of my inauguration as President of the United States, I would love to invite Kylie Cantrall to perform one of the songs off the soundtrack for Descendants, or one of the songs off her EP, because I just love for her to be a part of the night of my inauguration, along with all of her friends, because her friends will come too and perform with her on that same stage. And as she shares the stage with her friends, something I've noticed about Kylie Cantrall is how much heart and dedication she puts behind everything that she does. If you notice anything about the See You Tonight music video from a while ago, the music video went on to record over 45,000 likes and thousands of views. But one thing I certainly appreciated was Kylie Cantrall's friendships and how she put them on display, and she put the names of her friends like Kiana Romero and Malia Baker and many others in the credits of the music video, because she had a far greater appreciation for her friends being involved in the collaboration of this thing than anyone else ever did. And I've seen a lot of celebrities kind of come into this industry who have had friends involved in music videos through the collaborations of them, but they have never shown that same kind of appreciation that Kylie Cantrall shows every single time. She's so appreciative and she's so heartwarming to be around. So it's beyond me why any guy who ever been involved in a relationship with Kylie Cantrall could have felt the way that they did about her or treated her the way that they did. But you know something? It has everything to do with jealousy for her profound success that she's seen. And she's reduced to tears because of it. And I have this to say to Kylie Cantrall: you are doing a wonderful job of what you are doing, and keep up the great work, because you are inspiring millions of people. And I've just always and forever wanted you to know that you did nothing wrong. You are a special person. We have so much to be excited about when it comes to your future. And I just wish more YouTube creators would take the honor of reviewing Kylie Cantrall the way she's forever and always been meant to be reviewed, with prestige and with honor. And if you do me the honor of allowing me to be your voice of Descendants of Zombies continuing on to that uncertain future, which I know has a great deal of uncertainty because we don't know what's coming next, because when you really think about it, if we did know what was going to happen for us in our future, would we be just as excited, or would we be scared to death because we didn't know what was going to happen? That's what makes life so exciting and so unpredictable to be a part of, because we may never know what's happening. But it's because of the love and support we have from our family and our friends who have been by our side from the very beginning, kind of like you guys, how you've been by my side since the very first video that was ever uploaded here on this YouTube channel, and you guys having taken a chance on me. And you see, that's why I perceive every video with a certain prestige and a certain pride, because when you record a video about Descendants of Zombies, you really really got to put yourself in the same position of that person who wants the questions of when is Descendants 5 going to be released? When is Zombies 5 coming out, or what's going to happen in Zombies 5? You've really got to think about how that person feels each time you push record. You may never know what you're going to say each time you push record, or you ever had the chance to record a video about Descendants of Zombies, but you've got to know there are so many people from so many different age demographics that are represented through Descendants of Zombies and this passion, who feel very passionate about Descendants of Zombies, because you see, there's a never say die, never quit on you attitude when it comes to Descendants of Zombies, and there are millions of people who have never left Kylie Cantrall's side in everything that Kylie Cantrall may have experienced. But that doesn't mean that Kylie Cantrall is a bad person. It means she's wonderful in so many unimaginable ways, and she's such an honor to talk about, which is why she's given me inspiration from over 20 years ago when a conversation was posted on many discussion forums of what would ever happen if Jonathan Clarke ran for president of the United States. That's why she's given me inspiration more than ever to run for president of the United States, to give her an administration that she could finally be proud of, because I would make a lot of stuff happen. I would make sure that each and every one of you had the chance of living my dream, to get a free trip to Disney World, to have Disney Plus free off the President of the United States, because I would pay for it out of my own pocket. I would give you guys better health care, because no child ever deserves to be sick, and deserves to love Descendants of Zombies more than ever before. Deserves to share in these moments like everybody else who's had the chance to experience it before. To attend events like the Worlds Collide Tour at discounted prices. I will make sure that this happens for each and every one of you, because I've seen Kylie Cantrall cry over things she can't make sense of, that she should never have to cry over, because she should be prioritizing what matters. And that is everything that's important to her, including you guys, because you guys have made Kylie Cantrall into the superstar that she is undeniably. I say this because I remember Kylie Cantrall when she was just 9 years old, having a dream of wanting to be a part of Descendants. I watched Descendants for the first time when I was 25 years old, and to say I was captivated surely is an understatement, because I was marveling in how beautiful of a franchise this was, because I believe more of a chance deserved to be taken on this than perhaps ever before. And then when characters like Ruby Rose Turner came into the franchise, it made it more beautiful than ever before perhaps, because Ruby Rose Turner was one girl who deserved more of a chance to be taken on her than perhaps any cast member who had ever been comprised of the cast of Descendants. I think her beauty, I think her talent, I think her aspirations were unbelievable, and she brought the best out of not only herself, but everybody she ever had the chance to work with on the set of Descendants or whatever project she may or may not have been a part of. I know that Ruby's been turned down for a lot of roles that she had a desire to want to express her emotions through and have the opportunity to bring to life, like Rapunzel in Disney's live-action Tangled. But I forever believe that Ruby's story, the thing about Ruby is, her story is far from over and been told and completed. And I think there's so much more of a story for Ruby to be a part of. And there is something to find for Ruby to do in Descendants 5 with Wonderland. One can only hope and hold on to the belief that Ruby will re-emerge somehow or some way in some capacity in the Descendants franchise. I've also forever advocated to want to be the director behind Descendants of Zombies. And the reason why I've always wanted to be the director behind Descendants of Zombies is because you guys have deserved a dedicated director with so much heart that it's truly unbelievable. I say this because I've noticed the consistency of how the director's chair for Descendants of Zombies has always been revolving, which means directors kind of just come in, record and produce one chapter of Descendants of Zombies and forget about it, and they're never seen or heard from again. Jennifer Fang is gone, Kimmy Gatewood is in, Kenny Ortega ever before that, but there was never no heart or dedication. Kenny Ortega pretty much just signed up for a trilogy and said goodbye. There's the door. Don't let it hit you on the way out. You guys deserve far better storylines, far more of a chance to be taken on your favorite characters who you have been represented by for many, many years that you have never ever forgotten because you felt as if you were part of something special from the very beginning. I say this because I felt like I've been a part of something special from the very beginning, from the very first video that I ever uploaded that started with a promise. It all began with a promise for me to promise one Descendants of Zombies video to be uploaded every day, along with spreading a message of kindness which you guys helped me spread because I couldn't have done it without you. In order for a YouTube creator or a YouTube channel to achieve success, it all comes down to the fan support, which is truly unbelievable, because when you win the hearts of Descendants of Zombies fans, you've truly got something special. And I've had something special because of each and every one of you having taken a chance on me when you probably never should have, but you did, and you've been with me from the very first video that was ever uploaded here. So the best way to show my appreciation to every follower, to every person who's ever hit my subscribe button or my like button, is to showcase people like Leomani Segura and Kylie Cantrall, up and coming in this Life is Sweeter When You Are remix. I'm going to miss Ruby's voice being a part of this so much, in ways that no other YouTube creator ever could. Because I really do believe that these characters have been defined through their presentations, and Disney has had so much fun creating something special for each and every one of us that we've been waiting on for what must feel like a lifetime, really an eternity, because we've seen so many franchises that Disney has introduced us to that have been forgotten about through the years, like High School Musical and Hannah Montana, that were here for just a brief moment. But you know something? Descendants of Zombies really feels like something that's been here and with us for forever, that has remained constant. There's a definition of constant if you look it up online, and what constant is something that forever and always remains with us. And Descendants of Zombies truly has become the definition of constant because it's never quit on us, and we've never quit on it. And we've created something special for every fan of Descendants of Zombies, which is something that I wanted to do, and I wanted to leave a legacy behind because of, for forever and always ensuring the legacies of your favorite stars, such as Kylie Cantrall, go down in history for never ever being forgotten, and as some of the greatest of all time. I would love to present so many awards and accolades for Descendants of Zombies, because a total of 11 awards for The Rise of Red, at whatever award show they were honored at last year, is truly an understatement to everything they have yet to be accomplished. And I think they still have a long way to go. So because they still have a long way to go, this conversation never has to be over. This conversation should never cease to exist. And the more love and support that we can bring forth and show to your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars will show them the light out of darkness every single time for every amount of criticism that they've ever faced. I remember last year seeing a video that Kylie Cantrall posted on Instagram where she bought this I Love LA hat. She was so excited to show you guys the I Love LA hat. And then from out of nowhere, Kylie Cantrall starts crying because she unexplainably misses her friends. She doesn't explain to you why she's crying about why she misses her friends or why her political point of view had somehow ended up in a conversation about Donald Trump or what have you. But she just wanted to let each and every one of you know how she was feeling, and she wanted people to kind of leave her alone, because she wanted the love and support of her friends and family to surround her, which she had the chance to have experienced because of each and every one of you, because her fans have turned out to be some of her greatest friends. Kind of like you guys. How you guys took a loser on YouTube who was pretty much just talking about video games and his favorite TV shows and all the moments that he grew up in his childhood that he had the chance to be a part of, and you turned him into something far more special than ever thought. I never thought this YouTube channel would have 100 subscribers, much less almost 5,000. And I have each and every one of you to thank for that, having made this the most popular Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel in the world right now. I can never seem to put into words how excited I am to record a video about Descendants of Zombies. It's something I look forward to every day, to be honest with each and every one of you. I can't wait to hit record and tell you guys how I feel about the upcoming SpongeBob SquarePants movie, The Search for SpongeBob, how I feel about Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and how I've contemplated wanting to work at Five Nights at Freddy's because I always thought it was just something made up for a video game before I ever found out it was a real place, and I have to sign up to be a security guard because I'll never have the chance to be a full-time YouTube creator because I never seem to get enough subscribers. I love recording these videos for each and every one of you because of how much Descendants of Zombies means to each and every one of you. And no matter how far I become to get with Descendants of Zombies, I know I will never forget any of you for the profound impact that you've had on my heart through the stories we've shared about being fans of Descendants of Zombies, because I know there is somebody out there watching this video who wants to know when the release date of Descendants of Zombies is going to come to be, and I really wish I had these answers to each and every one of you, but you know something, I'm just like each and every one of you, I'm a fan, so I have no idea when the release window of Descendants of Zombies are suggesting only July 2026. We know it will happen, and it will come to be sometime between now and the summer of 2026, and that gives us more of a reason to be excited than ever before, and it's quite intriguing, to be honest with you, with all these new characters from Princess and the Frog and Encanto drawing inspiration from those very beloved franchises in this franchise. So, you know something, when people try to encourage you that Descendants of Zombies is seeing a dramatic conclusion, it is far from over, and it's really only just beginning, because there's so much of a story to be presented from characters from Encanto and Princess and the Frog than ever before, because it was a beautiful musical in 2011 that I love so much. The story of how a princess named Tiana, who was the first African-American princess, falling in love with a prince that was turned into a frog, was a beautiful story in its own right, excuse me. And I think that there's more of a chance to be taken on these stories than perhaps ever before. So if you're somebody who loves to see different characters from, say, Alice in Wonderland and Cinderella being involved in this story, then perhaps you should believe it, because my history with Cinderella goes all the way back to when I had one of those big gigantic TVs back in the 1980s that was very, very delicate, that you could watch shows like Alice in Wonderland and Cinderella on, because those movies went on to achieve so much rarity. I remember being sick with the chicken pox or the stomach flu and watching Cinderella. And I remember being captivated about how Jacques, which was one of the lead voices of one of the three mice that helped Cinderella make her gown for the happily ever after ball that she had the chance to attend. I remember how Jacques had this beautiful friendship with Cinderella, and it was really defined through the telling of the story of Cinderella. There was so much significance with the fairy godmother, and there was so much significance with how Cinderella had a dream of finding true love and meeting Prince Charming. But what defined that movie was the friendship that Cinderella shared with Jacques the mice, and how the mice wanted nothing more than for Cinderella to achieve her dream. However they had to make it possible for her, it was the friendship that Cinderella shared with so many insignificant characters that went on to achieve so much more, that made that movie so beautiful. Kind of like how Beauty and the Beast was a story about how Beast may have treated Belle at the beginning of the movie, but he learned to respect her in so many emphatic ways, and they learned to love each other. That's what was so beautiful about the Beauty and the Beast tale, was that it was a tale as old as time that we never ever forgot about, and we felt as if we were a part of something special. And I know there were a lot of critics who choose to review Beauty and the Beast all the time because of how Beast may have treated Belle, but it was how they reached a mutual understanding for each other, which gave us a greater appreciation for those characters. And that's why characters like Ben and Mal's relationship became such a valuable part to the Descendants franchise, because of how Beast learned to treat Belle and learned to respect her for the person she was. And no matter how he treated her, she always loved him. She always wanted to give him a chance. They may have had arguments or disagreements, but in everyday life, who doesn't have an argument or a disagreement? There's probably somebody today watching this video who just had an argument with somebody who doesn't really understand them. And it's never anybody's fault. It's just a fact of life. But that's what's so beautiful about life, is that these characters represent everyday life for everybody watching these videos to help us make sense of what may be going on around us. Because Freya Sky feels the way that she does about a relationship and being ghosted, I don't think that gives anybody the right to wonder who may have hurt Freya. I don't think that gives anybody the right to kind of dig into personal issues that Freya may have experienced. She just wants to share with us her experiences so people can learn from them. And I think we've all became better people because we've learned from these experiences, which makes life that much more unpredictable, because we never know what to expect next. And the same logic applies to Descendants of Zombies. We may never know what's coming next, but that's what makes it so fun to be a fan of Descendants of Zombies, to give our predictions, to share our predictions with more Descendants of Zombies fans than ever before, which YouTube has allowed me to do, because more people have discovered who Jonathan Clarke on YouTube is and know who Jonathan Clarke on YouTube is than ever before. In many of these reaction videos that have been uploaded from music videos like Snow Angels and Silent Treatment, my name has been mentioned without ever the person mentioning my name. And it has everything to do with my rarity, because I've been around for a very long time. You know something? I may have been around for a very long time, but because I've been around for a very long time, and my age speaks for itself, I have a greater appreciation for concepts such as Descendants of Zombies, and I can tell the story of Descendants of Zombies a lot better than anybody else ever could. There's always been something with my voice having been associated with Descendants of Zombies, and people love to hear me tell this story time and time again, all the time, because I can tell this story better than anybody else ever could. It's one thing for somebody to sit down and review Descendants of Zombies, but did they ever tell you anything about what's happening with them, or how they truly feel about Descendants of Zombies? Because that's what truly makes it worth it. Every single time that a person ever records a video about Descendants of Zombies is speaking from your heart and perceiving everything with an open heart and an open mind. Because until you can perceive everything with an open heart and an open mind, you will not get anywhere with Descendants of Zombies, and an appreciation will never be showcased by you about how you truly feel about Descendants of Zombies. Because when you win the hearts of every fan of Descendants of Zombies, you've truly got something special. And together we've created something special for every fan of Descendants of Zombies. We've given Kylie Cantrall a reason to believe in herself perhaps more than ever before, and that's what's so exciting about this future, because I'm so excited about this future, and I don't even know what to expect next for people like Kylie Cantrall and Liamani Segura, but I'm just so incredibly excited and so honored to be a part of it because of each and every one of you, because this happened because of each and every one of you, and it has everything to do with each and every one of you, and I'm just excited to be your voice of Descendants of Zombies. I haven't done this for a very long time. Your voice of Descendants and Zombies. Zombies, zombies. Oh, yeah. That's what I've become defined for over the years, is your voice of Descendants of Zombies. And I've also loved sharing stories with you about what's inspired me to be a fan of Descendants of Zombies. So if you're somebody who has yet to subscribe to this YouTube channel, I think you just might want to subscribe to this YouTube channel, because there's something here on this YouTube channel in its archives for everybody. It's been my honor to record hundreds of videos, reaction videos, and commentaries on Descendants of Zombies. And if you're somebody watching my video and hearing my voice for the very first time, hi. It's an honor to meet you. My name is Jonathan Clarke, and yes, I have been around for a very long time. My gray hair is very apparent, but I've loved talking about Disney and sharing my passions for all these Disney characters who have defined me over the years, and how Descendants of Zombies has come to hold a very special place in my heart for forever and always. I got you guys, man, and I understand how each and every one of you have been made to feel about Descendants of Zombies, and as far as I'm concerned, that deserves to be celebrated, that deserves to be commended, and that deserves to be honored. And if you give me the honor to continue to be your voice of Descendants of Zombies into that foreseeable future, I promise I will do right by you, and I will never ever go away. I will always be here to talk with you about Descendants of Zombies. Now, having said that, I will return, be back here just before sunset tonight with one final video about Descendants of Zombies. I think I'm going to talk about Liamani Segura and her introduction into the Descendants franchise and what I think is going to come of it, because this gives us a reason to be excited about it, and I hope you will join me for that this evening. Thank you so much, having said that, for watching this video, having clicked on my thumbnails today, and spent your Saturday afternoon with me, because there's no better way to spend your Saturday afternoon, your weekends, than by watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. You have been watching the latest episode of Jonathan Clarke on YouTube in the archives of the Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching this video, because it means more to me than words could ever say. Keep on believing in Descendants of Zombies, because we still have a long way to go, because one should believe in this story being far from over.